Hey y'all, welcome back to Playing with Alyse, and we are now on paycheck number 2 for the month of May. So I'm gonna jump right into that budget, but before I do, we have to get paycheck number 1 taken care of. So let's get right to it. And I'll link the video for paycheck number 1 when we made out the budget up top around here. And we can go ahead and see what these numbers turned out to be in the end. And if you hear any jingle jangles or anything like that going on in the background, that is my baby Riggs, so excuse him. He's pretending to be sad. Alright, so now that I have that in frame, we can go ahead and get started. So from the last video, you know, all of the bills were already paid. So I just put out how much we ended up paying, and as you can see, we ended up paying more than was actually budgeted for. And we went over by $58.66. So I'm just gonna put that over here, put a plus. And that's why I leave that little space right there, so I can put plus or minus in that column. And that's $58.66. And we will get back to that number in a minute. And now let's see how we did on our expenses. And so if you remember from the last video, since we had already gone to Arkansas, we knew exactly how much we spent already, so I just went ahead and filled that in. And so we ended up being $14.12 under budget. So I'll put a minus there. $14.12. We're going to Corpus Christi this weekend. And so this was the $150 that was saved for the first paycheck. And then the other $150 will be saved on the second paycheck. And so technically we didn't actually spend any of that money, but it was just like I said with the mortgage. It was kind of like a sinking fund where we just set that aside. So I'm just gonna say that we did spend that. And it's gonna roll over to budget number 2 that we're about to do. And for groceries, we actually did go over. I had on my May goals, if you follow me on Instagram, it's Playing with Alyse. If you follow me on there, you saw that I put up my May financial goals. And one of those goals was to stay within budget for food. And we've already missed that. But I think in the long run, it'll still be within budget by the end of the month. But just for this week's budget, we went over by $14.01. So we ended up spending $94.01. And my goal for this video is to not skip a line, to make it all the way down without skipping a line and filling out information for the wrong category or whatever, like I keep doing. And so for gas, we were under. We actually spent $28.22. We only had to get gas once. Well, of course we're only gonna have to get gas once in a week, but it was less than $30 to fill up basically. And so that was under by $1.78. But as these gas prices keep going up, we will see how that affects the budget as well. For tithes, $108.57. Savings. Eating out, we only spent $8.97. Ooh, that's a terrible 8. Which was $1.03 under budget. Entertainment, we spent $48.57. Golly, I'm just gonna rewrite both of these. Hey, but I didn't skip though. And that was, we'll come back to that. My brain froze for a minute. For miscellaneous, we ended up spending $48.96, which was $1.04 under budget. And neither of us spent any money out of our personal pile. So that's plus 25 for each of those. And now, what were you? Somebody help me. I'm trying to hurry up and do quick math. 100 minus 57 is what? 43? Sounds right. And then, all right. Make fun of me in the comment section if this is wrong, but I'm gonna put $1.43. Let me know. All right, so we have $778.57 is the total amount budgeted for expenses. And so with the minuses and the pluses, you basically just go through and say minus $14.12 from that amount, plus $14.01, minus $178, minus $103, minus $143, minus $104, and I accidentally put pluses instead of minuses for the 25s, but that's minus 50 for that. So it's $723.18 that we actually spent. Which means we went under budget by $55.39 for expenses. I'm gonna change these to minuses. Just pretend that erased all the way. All right, and so our total budgeted amount for this pay period was right here, $1932.19. And so we have to add the $58.66 that we went over from the bills. And then subtract the $55.39 that we went under for expenses. And that leaves us with $1,935.46. And so we went over by $3.27, which is not bad at all. I will take that. I'm gonna circle it. Alrighty, so we have the budget for last week taken care of, and I'm gonna put this. Oh, where did we go over? Oh yeah, capital one. 58.66 plus. All right, so that's the budget from last week taken care of. We had $1153.62 budgeted for bills. We ended up paying $1212.28, which was over by $58.66. Then for our expenses, we had $778.57 budgeted. We spent $723.18, which was under by $55.39. which means we spent a total of $1935.46, which was only $3.27 more than what we had budgeted for the week. So now that we have that taken care of, we can come over to this week's budget. And of course, I have it filled out already so that you don't have to sit through that, and we can just go ahead and fill this out. So let's see what bills we have for this week. And so one thing that I do, first I do an expense tracker. I've been falling off recently though. So how it looks in here, and I'll make a video giving y'all a run through of what all of this looks like. Since this is a new channel, I do have it already on my main channel, but I have a spending log that I use each month in my journal, in my planner, that looks like this, and it just has all the days and all the categories on the next month's, and then it totals out at the bottom, and if it's under budget or on track, it's green, borderline another color, it changes. Off track is red, and if it's a planned amount that we already know is going to be that exact amount, it's just written in black. But as I said, I have been falling off, but I did write down all of everything that we purchased, all of our purchases basically, as far as bills and anything that we spent money on. This is from last week. And so for this budget that's starting now, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna fill it out in the spending tracker like I'm supposed to do, which is what I have it for in the first place. And that's how I know whether we did or did not stay in budget for each category, basically. But enough of that rundown. Let's get to this week's budget. So the first thing that we have due for this week is our Bank of America bill, and I always just write BOA because I'm lazy. And that's for $48. Our gas bill for the house is $33.11. Our rooms to go bill, which is the next bill that's gonna get paid off, it's $22 for the minimum payment, but since it's the one that we're on in the snowball, it's $200 for the payment that we're doing. But I'm just gonna budget for the $22 for right now, and we'll see what happens. Then we have our farmers. We have our home insurance and car insurance through Farmers, but our home insurance is paid in one bulk payment at the beginning of the year, and then our car insurance is a monthly payment. So for this, it's just showing what it is for our car insurance, and it's $185.33. Then for my iPhone, it's $35. Netflix, I said in the May monthly budget video that the Netflix bill is going up to $12.99, but I don't know how much it is with taxes, but I'm just gonna put $12.99 anyway, because if it's just what our taxes is, it's 8.25%, so 8.25% plus $12.99, which will not be a lot. And then my student loans, $76.84, and then the mortgage, which is $871.52 for the other half of the payment. So if you saw on the budget from last week here, we put $871.52 aside. And so now from this check, we're also putting $871.52 aside so that we'll have the full payment at the end. Well, not at the end, but all together. And so all of that added up is $1,284.79. And now for the expenses, got the usual suspects. Groceries, $20, because what we bought last time was basically 2 weeks worth of meals. So this is just in case we need to get something random or extra along the way. Then for gas, same old $30. Tithes will be $133 this time because it's for my husband's check. Savings, ooh, that looks terrible. The usual. Eating out, I'm doing $10 again. Entertainment, only $20 this week. Corpus Christi. And so the $150 from last week is rolling over to this week. Why did I write it? So it's gonna be a full $300 now on the budget for that. Then William and me, $25 each. And miscellaneous, $50. And thank goodness that we did have that $50 miscellaneous added in last week, because we ended up having to get the cone of shame for our little baby. He had a scratch on his leg and we had to put ointment on it, but he was licking the wound. We didn't want him to lick the ointment, so we bought him a cone from PetSmart to wear for the little waiting period until he was okay to lick it again, because the medicine wouldn't affect him anymore. He's so depressed about it when he has to wear it. And then I was a little under the weather, so William bought me some medicine, and so that came out of miscellaneous as well. And that's how it ended up being however many, $48.96 last week. So here's two miscellaneous categories. And so the total amount for the expenses this week, oops, sorry, is gonna be $663 even. 663, excuse me. And so the full total budgeted amount for our bills and expenses this week is going to be $1947.79. And since I did my budget on time this week, which was another goal for the month, there's nothing that's already actually been spent or paid for any of these categories. So we're going through this one together for real. And like I said on the last video, you got to see me reconcile the budget from paycheck number 1 to see how much we went over and under and where we came out at the end. But we did it, we made it through. This is the end of the video. So thank you if you made it through. It was a little shaky there at the beginning, but we pushed through, we fought through. And my dog ended up leaving out of the room because William got home. But thank you for sticking it out with me watching this video. If you are new here, which pretty much everyone is because it's my new channel, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. I would love to have you over here. And if you did like this video, please go ahead and give it a huge thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. But besides that, if you have any questions about budgeting or any videos that you would like to see from this channel, definitely leave that in a comment below, and have a good weekend. Bye y'all.